Yeah, big money in this gift if you didn't know. Big business minus the business suit. Even I look in the mirror like, is it you? And I say, I must be the hottest if it isn't you.
What up, my people? I'm back. I've been sick, man. Been trying to get over this. I don't know what's going on. I think the weather changing or something. It's been made me real sick, man. But I'm getting back. I'm still strong, Anyway, the fallout from this Cardinals game been real crazy. Like, the fans is going crazy. The coaches is going crazy. The local media is going crazy. Like, everybody going crazy over this game. Like, a lot of stuff been making sense though. Somebody said we should be 5-1. Now, every time somebody say you should be something, then I go, well, you're not that. So, but I can see that. I can see that point. Like, the Vikings game, we just lost. But ain't no reason why we couldn't have won that Patriots game. Ain't no reason why, hell, we could have won the Cardinals game, even though that joint looked out of reach. So, like, it's just they got to fix these little things, man, and they just not doing that. I've seen people saying the coaches need to change out. Here's what I will say. And I said this when I first started making videos, about a month or something ago, a month and a half ago. On that Hard Knocks episode, there was a Hard Knocks episode where Jameis Winston was in a room with John Gruden. Man, it's hard to remember now. I think he was in there with John Gruden and Rex Ryan. And they both was like salivating, saying, man, I only wish I could coach. I could have had a quarterback like you to coach or a player like you to coach. So it makes sense that people are saying, like, man, what if we had like John Gruden coaching Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then what if Rex Ryan was like the defensive coordinator? I mean, what would this team be then? And that's something to really think about. Now, am I saying fire Dirk? No, I'm not saying that. All right, so you Tampa Bay fans, chill out. I'm just saying, ain't nothing wrong with speculating, and I'm speculating, man, that would be crazy to give Rex Ryan a defense like we have, and to give John Gruden a team like we have. Now, I will say this team ain't nothing like the team he took us to the Super Bowl with. It's nothing like that. It's different. But he did bring the best out of our team, and he had an offense that was nowhere near what our offense has the capability of being. So that's definitely an interesting conversation. And I know, and John Gruden just said, I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday, they asked him will he ever coach again in college or whatever. And he said if he did coach again, it'll be in the NFL. So he ain't taking coaching off the table. That's something to think about. That's kind of crazy. But anyway, whatever. This game we got going against the Bills have no wide receivers. And they number one wide receivers, they running back. So we should be able to stick with them. But the problem is that damn Tyrod Taylor boy, he got a big arm. I mean, he'll flip, whoop, and that ball gone. He got a real big arm, and he mobile, man. And we have a problem staying in our gaps. So we gotta have to play some technically sound football to beat these cats, like real technically sound. And then I heard somebody say we should think about running a 3-4, and they asked Mike Smith about that, the defensive coordinator. They asked him, y'all been thinking about running a 3-4. Now here's the thing about 3-4. In a 3-4 defense, you got 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers, and we got the 4 linebackers that can do it. But so your nose tackle on your defensive line has to be very big and just eat up space. He has to demand a double team. So Makes sense because Gerald McCoy eat up space and he demands a double team. But then your two ends, because it's only three, your two ends have to be, I mean, when I say technically sound, they have to be amazing. Like, their technique have to be perfect. With their hands placement, feet placement. There is no snap that you gonna be able to throw. I mean, be able to run where you catch them not being technically sound. The benefit to that is you got more linebackers, so you got more coverage over the field. So really, no matter how they motion or no matter what they do, you got it covered because you got so many people out there in space. Now you are susceptible to the run though, because you don't have that many linemen. But since Gerald over pursues anyway, he ain't gonna get through a line if there's only three people on the line as fast as he would normally get through, which will force him to slow up, which could help in stuff in the run. Now those outside linebackers, because now we have two in the middle and two on the outside, they have to contain. They have to contain. And those middle two, man, it's all about run fits. What's your lane? And you stay centered on your lane. And that's been a problem. So it's like, y'all want us to run the 3-4, and that's cool. But these mugs got to play very technically sound to be able to do that. And then Mike Smith was talking about, they were saying, y'all got the worst team when it comes to sacks. And that's true. We got the worst team when it comes to sacks, and they was asking him how you gonna get more pressure, and he's like, sometimes you gotta send linebackers, but if you can't get pressure with your front four, that's gonna leave you exposed in the secondary if you gotta rush in a linebacker, man. So I don't know what our defense is gonna do to fix this. We do got Quan coming back, which is cool. He should definitely help kick Beckwith over to the weak side or the strong side linebacker. Levante David played the weak. And we should have better coverage over the middle and, better run fits, stuff like that. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But if we're going to beat this team, run fits got to be perfect because LaShawn McCoy can do work. Linebackers got to sit in their zones or do whatever they got to do. They got to play technically sound, man, because he catching all the balls out of the backfield and he doing all the running, man. This game finna be crazy. And if we drop this one, we got murderer's row because we got all our division games coming up. Like, we can't drop this one. And they got to feel that urgency, man. I mean, with each week going by, the chance of making the playoffs just get less and less. So it ain't time to panic now, but it's definitely time to get some urgency about you. For real, Tampa. Y'all got to get some urgency, man. Jameis Winston is coming back. And a couple of fans is mad about that. They're like, damn, man, I wanted to see what Ryan Fitzpatrick can do. I see you. I understand what you're saying, but honestly, man, come on. Long term, come on. No. Jameis got 30-some-odd starts. He need to be playing. This team will rise and fall with Jameis Winston, period. I like to see what he could do too. But if Ryan Fitzpatrick rattle off 3-4 wins in a row, let's just hypothetically, but now y'all want him to start over Jameis Winston? And now you want Jameis Winston to play backup to Ryan Fitzpatrick? Now you're going to sign Ryan Fitzpatrick to a long-term deal? Come on, man. That don't even make sense. I'd rather go with Jameis Winston if he's able to play. And let's rise and fall with him, man, and ride him to, if they decide to keep him and sign him to a long-term deal, whatever, cool. If they decide to draft another one, then draft another one. But we got to see what he's going to do. This ain't an experiment, man. He's our franchise quarterback. So if he's healthy, whatever, let him run. At the end of the day, man, we got to our defense got to play more technically sound. Jameis Winston got to just play a little bit more consistent. I don't know, man. I just don't know. Like, I don't know what we need to do. I mean, okay, I know what we need to do, but at this point, I don't know how to fix it. And I'm not a coach, so I'm not supposed to know how to fix it. But as a fan, I'm like, man, what can we do to fix this? And then they was interviewing Vernon Hargreaves, and he was just like, yeah, I got to make a play. I got to make a play. And it was like, I'm like, dude, you ain't saying what everybody know you supposed to be doing, which is playing closer to the damn the damn wide receiver. That's what you need to do. I got to make a play. What you should say is, I need to get closer, line up closer to the receiver. And I need to jump routes. Yes, that's what I need to do. That's what I want to hear you say, man. So, Buffalo has no receivers. None. So, I'm going to tell you something, too. And this is the last thing I'm going to say. Low key, the coach been taking shots at the general manager, Jason Light. Listen to them interviews. He been taking shots. Because he be like, the guys we got are the guys we got to play with. I might be reading too far into that, but you trying to say that the groceries ain't right? And then he was like, they was asking him about the kicker, and he was like, yeah, whatever kicker's on the team, that's who we got to go with. Like, almost like, hey, man, Jason, y'all need to talk to Jason about that. Like, it's crazy. So like, half of us want to blame the coaching and the play calling and all that. And then some people blaming the talent, saying we ain't got good enough talent on defense. And people are starting to look like busts. Like Vernon Hargreaves starting to look like a bust. Obviously, that kicker, Aguayo, was a bust. And then the person that Jason Light brought in after that, Nick Folk, bust. The fact that Jason Light didn't bring no running backs in here. When Adrian Peterson was literally on the open market, and he came here and talked to the Bucs. How you let Adrian Peterson out of the building without knowing that your run game is terrible, like without making a good offer on him? And now look what he did to us with the Cardinals. We had to respect the run, and we got passed all over. So Doug Martin and AP together as a tandem in the backfield on our team would have been crazy. And what kind of contract did he demand? What? I mean, he didn't even get that much. So Jason Light made some good picks, but he got some questionable ones in there. And those questionable ones, I think, are costing us some games, because you can't say the kicking game didn't cost us some games, and you can't say the running game didn't cost us some games. And that's exactly what he was supposed to be drafted. That's that second round pick we used on that kicker. What running backs was available? A couple of these other picks we used on that running back that we let go, Jeremy McNichols. His scouting department and his interview process ain't pick up that this kid was flaky, man. Like, who you blame for that? So like, it's both of their fault, man. So I'm telling you, Jason up for a contract extension, and Dirk Cutter gonna be up for a contract extension soon too. But Jason Light, he up for a contract extension like next year. So like, I don't know, man. Anyway, look, man, good luck on Sunday, Tampa. I'm gonna get over this dang on sickness I got going on, and we back at it, man. I ain't get to do my picks this week, at least for the game that happened last night. So I gotta go back and see how I did with my last week's picks, and I'm gonna still put out new picks without that game. So I'll holler at you, man. Go Bucs.